Hey there, welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you are brand new to my channel, yay, you're here finally. And if you are a returning subscriber, yay, you came back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so you can decide whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a particular film. So the movie I'm reviewing today is called Which Brings Me to You. This romantic comedy is now playing in theaters as well as on video on demand at sites like Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, and Vudu. And by the way, click down below in the description and I can save you money if you don't belong to those sites. I've got coupons and links that will help you to save money. See, I'm saving you money already. All right, so the film is rated R and is an hour and 38 minutes. My overall movie review mom grade is probably about a C plus. Now, let me explain why. First, I'll give you an overview in a nutshell. Then I'll point out things I liked, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar or better. So, in a nutshell, the story is about two jaded singles who meet at a wedding. The story was written by Keith Bunyan and directed by Peter Hutchings. So, let me give you some tips for parents first. Because the movie is rated R, I think the movie is inappropriate for kids. Now, it's not just the rating, but the content. I think kids are going to be bored if they do watch the movie, but the content includes profanity and a lot of F-bombs. A young woman gets drunk. We see lots of unmarried people sleeping together. And ultimately, I think the biggest thing that parents need to know is there is a lot of talk and portrayal of hookups. We see a side shot of a topless woman. We see sound effects and movements of the act many times. And that's one of my criticisms of the movie as well, but I'll get to that in just a second. Some of the themes that the film does very well are point out relationships and the intricacies, dynamics, and problems and pleasures with relationships. Honesty, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, forgiving others for their past mistakes, judging others, and hope for a better relationship despite past heartbreaks. Now, everybody has had a heartbreak, and that's part of life, but it also makes that relationship that you find that's right that much sweeter, right? However, one of my sons went through a horrible heartbreak recently, and it just wounded him to his core. And we all thought that this girl was going to be in our lives forever. We all adored her. But life happens and wounds happen. And that's kind of what this story is about. So now let me tell you the list of things that I really liked about the film. First of all, it features Lucy Hale and Nat Wolff as the couple. The camera and makeup teams did a really great job making them look younger in flashbacks. There is something magical about being able to reveal and reflect on your past with a complete stranger. I've done that several times on long airplane flights, talking to the person next to me, and knowing or thinking that you're never going to see that person again kind of allows you to open up in a unique way that can be very therapeutic. And we definitely see that in this film. I loved the creative ways to visually show flashbacks in this movie. I thought that was really sweet and clever. We hear a beautiful performance of It Had to Be You by Brittany Oldford. I just loved her voice. Lovely music by Spencer David Hutchings. In the beginning, I was really turned off by the shallow characters, but they grew on me and I really liked the sweet ending. The film shows how we need to offer grace and forgiveness to ourselves for making mistakes, as well as extending that same patience and forgiveness and grace to others. We're all just trying to figure out life and love, right? Now, onto the list of things that I didn't like so much. I love a good rom-com, but I don't think that one-night hookups are romantic, charming, or funny. I guess I'm really old fashioned that way. But as I said, at first I was like, oh, this is just another raunchy, trashy movie about hookups, and I don't enjoy that. But I kept watching because I wanted to do a review for you. The movie just started off with wanting to have sex and these shallow characters, and it was really strange. And then finally, they get past that and dig a little deeper with each other and finally find some substance worth fighting for. And that I thought was interesting. One thing that really bugged me is at the very beginning, this couple, they meet and they definitely see sparks and they want to go at it in the coat room at a wedding. And then the guy is like, wait, how about we actually talk and get to know each other? And the girl is all ticked off. And I'm like, really? Do girls get ticked off when a complete stranger doesn't want to have spontaneous sex with them in a public setting? Is that where we are today? Is that what our young women are like? If so, I think we're in serious trouble. I I just thought that was bizarre. Anyway, the dialogue isn't as clever and witty as it thinks it is. Most of the conversations I mentioned are about sex. Finally, towards the very, very end of Act Three, we get some true substance that has some meat. Here's just some random thing. Did anyone notice that all of the single women in this movie wear wedding rings on, or wear a ring, I should say, on their left hand? And I'm wondering, what's that all about? I know a lot of people don't get married anymore, but she was wearing it, for example, this main girl, she wasn't married or anything when she was wearing this ring. And then later we see some other single girls and they're wearing rings on their wedding ring finger. Is that just too old fashioned anymore? Just wondering. And then why do rom-coms think it's so cute to show a couple trespassing or breaking the law? I mean, that's such a trope, right, in rom-coms. And we definitely see that there. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. How about something original and fresh? Whatever. So whenever I watch movies, I take notes and of course, and then I also write down funny lines and interesting lines just to share them with you so you can get a taste for the quality of script writing and the dialogue. And so I'll share some of them with you. I have all of them on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. So Jane, who is played by Lucy Hale, says, talking about a past relationship when she was a teenager, she said, it was partly a great teenage romance and partly a series of misdemeanors because she was hooking up with this guy who was just in trouble all the time and got her in trouble. And then Will, who is the guy who's played by Nat Wolff, as he's sharing all of these experiences, his past mistakes, he says, I'm not proud of any of this, which is true. We all have things we're not proud of, for sure. And then some interesting lines I thought were actually, maybe this is more of a funny one, but Nat Wolff's character also says, clear thinking is really overrated. And then Lucy Hale's character says at one point, you get hurt the most by people you think couldn't possibly hurt you. And I think that that's really true. And that's partly why my son was so wounded to the core, was because these two just loved each other to the core. And then that love was betrayed. And that is such a deep, deep wound. And of course, I've had relationships a little bit like that as well. And then another point, Jane, played by Lucy Hale, says, this is different. And I love that she recognizes that all the one night stands and the hooking up and all of that kind of stuff didn't have substance. All right, so let me give you recommendations for three films that I instantly thought of while I was watching this one. The first one is Before Sunrise from 1995. It is such a sweet film. It's romantic, and it's about these two strangers that through various situations end up together and they just talk and talk and talk. And by the end, there's some deep love, like some appreciation and true fondness for one another. They're not jumping into a coat room to have sex. Like they start with friendship and it builds. And I love that. And if you watch that and enjoy it, you'll be happy to know that there are two sequels after it. It's a trilogy as they promise to meet each other again in a year, and then they do, and then there's a third one, and I loved all of them. All right, and then another movie I thought of is called Serendipity, filmed in 2021. It's cute. And again, there are some deeper conversations where there's something there, like the character says, this is different. And then another one that I just thought of is called Crazy Stupid Love, filmed in 2011. And boys love crazy and stupid sometimes. But there you have it. It's a rom-com, lots of celebrities in that film, and some comedy and some romance and that kind of stuff. Hope you like those. Be sure and comment down below. Let me know if you've seen this movie, what you thought of it, and let me know which movie you would like me to review next. I always love your recommendations, as well as movie recommendations for films that you just think that I should watch. You know, maybe they're older ones that I haven't seen. Anyway, join my Facebook group called, guess what? Movie Review Mom, where we talk about movies and have silly memes and conversations and whatnot. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.